What's up, everybody? Calling back here for another recap. This will be week 12 in the queue for the qmjhl, or this will be week 12 in the qmjhl for the Halifax Mooseheads. I got a few people already on, so we're going to jump right into it. How's it going, gentlemen?
It's going well, and yourself?
Good, buddy. Good. So, like I said, we're going to wait until this fills up a little bit, 4, 5, 6 people, whatever. We don't normally get too crazy. I think the most we've ever had on a live was like, I don't know, 30 people or so. Yeah, it's not bad. But we got that giveaway to do today, so hopefully that pulls in a few people. I'm just gonna, you guys can chat amongst yourself about whatever you want, except for what's on the docket. And I'm gonna go make sure that all the groups have the link.
Sounds good.
And they don't.
All right.
The country club has it, right? Did you?
Yep, Country Club has it. You sent the link out earlier, which is how I was able to join.
I can't find it. Why can I never find my stuff on that?
Because Facebook has a weird algorithm now that you can't find your own stuff until you scroll past a bunch of other people's stuff, and you find yours at the bottom.
Or I can just search my name.
Yeah, you can do that too.
Copy and paste it, right?
It's been a pain in the butt for me too.
Yeah, it's
hard to find.
Yeah, they don't want you to see your own stuff now. They want you to see what everybody else is posting. Even if you posted 2 minutes ago and the other person was 32 years ago, they'll be giving them their stuff first.
And I'm going to go to season ticket holder group. I don't think it's been put in there yet.
No, the wife just pinned your message in the country club, so it'll be at the top.
What country club? Or what message?
She just pinned your post.
Gotcha. Copy link. Paste. Okay. So this is now going into season ticket holders group. If my hands want to work, what the hell?
Yeah, my hands don't work 9 times out of 10 either.
Copy.
Yeah, I got that problem too.
And then we're gonna go into the Moosehead fan club. Posted there as well.
We still associate with them.
Wow, that's not nice.
They haven't been nice to me, so.
Oh, look, the thing is they
nice
have
to them?
they have the biggest Moose following on Facebook.
Oh, I know.
Right?
They have more followers than the Mooseheads do.
I believe they do. I think they have 2.6. Now the Mooseheads YouTube has almost 5,000. So I don't know what let's see what the Mooseheads have, just out of curiosity.
Mooseheads only follow 3 people, and 2 of them are the Simons.
Buddy, they got 63,000 followers.
Nice.
Yeah, they're only following 4 people.
Oh, they're following 4 now. Who is the 4? They were following only 3.
I don't know. I didn't check.
Because it was the 2 companies owned by the Simons, and then the credit card company.
All right. So, first thing we're going to talk about is the giveaway. We are going to be doing the giveaway today. Assuming that's why most people are going to tune in, because it's a pretty friggin' awesome giveaway, I think. Special show.
Yeah, I don't even know what half of the gifts are.
Yeah, I'll go through that right now.
What was that? The shirt, man.
We got. I will show. We got a couple donations this time, so nothing was out of pocket for me this time, which is wicked. But we had 3 people donate some things. First of all, Matt, who you're looking at here right now. Kind of low volume. Can you guys hear me okay?
I can hear you fine.
I hear you perfectly fine.
Yeah, my volumes are all up. Sorry, I'm not even sure who that was. So the first thing we got is this beauty. First career QMJ should go. QMJ, my words don't want a word today. QMJHL 60, which is Mathis Russo's number. The 20th of October, 2023 at Scotiabank Center. That is a wicked little souvenir, man. I absolutely love that. Thank you so much for Matt, for donating that.
You're welcome.
We also have a donated deck of cards, apparently from Dylan Gorman. I haven't received them for him yet, but he's a man of his word, and he will definitely give you his cards. They're unopened and everything. Yeah, it's a pretty cool gift. And then, of course, the pièce de résistance.
I just want that for Tyler's signature.
Right? The 30th anniversary shirt signed by all
With Tyler Long.
signed by all 23 members of this year's Halifax Mooseheads. And yes, with Mr. Tyler Long on there as well. So all of that will get you you'll get all that if your name is pulled on the wheel tonight. And you can pick it up from me at the next game, or you can message me if you want it for a Christmas gift or before Christmas, and we can figure some way for you guys to get it. Now, I will go to say that Matt here is eligible to win. His name is in it. Ryan didn't put his name in because there was a confusion, but his wife put in for it. So if anybody sees their name come up, it's not rigged. They put their name in for it. The only people who really aren't allowed is me and my family. Like, I wouldn't let my daughter put in for it, and she wanted to.
She got mad at you for that one.
Mm-hmm.
Dad, I want the shirt. Yeah, well, you're not getting it.
Yeah, nope. So we got 5 people watching. We might as well, let's talk about game 1. We'll talk about the games, and then we'll get into the draw. Game 1 was a absolute shit show. In my opinion, I think the boys know it too, so we're not talking out of school. It was a bad game. The first period, Milner led in 3 goals in 5 or 6 shots.
It's about 6 shots. I was at work watching it, so I got to see the shot clock pretty clearly.
Now, what makes me angry about that is not that Milner's been on a roll. Milner's doing good. He's given us a chance. While Russo isn't here, and that's all we can hope for from the kid's rookie year. He's doing great. There's people online bashing him. Stop doing that. Like, these kids are on Facebook. Their parents are on Facebook. Stop bashing. They're just kids. You want to bash somebody, bash the adults that are training them, but don't bash the kids. Milner's a good kid, and he's a good goalie. He's a really good goalie. He just needs time. I blame, surprise, Midgley. He should have seen that Milner was having an off night and pulled him. We would have had a chance.
Yeah.
Opinions? Am I wrong?
No, I think you're on the ball for that one. Our coaching really needs to focus on our defense more. And I mean, not everything's up to the goaltender. We are very spoiled. We're used to Rousseau, who is a brick wall in the net, and we don't really need the defense. Now, in my mind, correct me if I'm wrong, boys, we still need defense. Rooster or no Rooster, we still need defense. Because Rooster he's going to play 3-4 games and he's going to get tired. And if we just heavily rely on him, things are going to happen. Losses are going to happen.
So I got to interrupt because I didn't have my chat up. I was busy working on the stream. We got some things coming up. We'll go right back into that there, Ryan, because I'm not done with that yet.
Yep.
So, hi, Ohio Cheese Man. Good to see you again, buddy. Hey, Lindsay. Lindsay says, I want a Russo thing since Melissa can't win. Oh, I think she's talking about the pitcher, maybe?
Picture, yeah.
Yeah, so the cool thing is, guys, is Matt now is doing this on the side for another job, trying to get his stuff going. So he's selling all this stuff. The name of the company is?
MF Creations.
MF Creations.
First and last name, yeah.
And you can find that on Facebook, and you can put your orders through him. He's already taken orders, so hit him up. He'll make you whatever you want. He's very talented. I just outfitted my whole YouTube page with brand new designs thanks to him. Melissa says, I can hear you on my phone, but typically on the TV it's quiet. I can't do anything, but I apologize if I'm quiet. The boys hear me great. I hear them fine. I don't know why it doesn't translate to TV.
TV breaking?
No, we get that. We get that comment a lot from other people, like outside of the house. Yeah, and I don't understand why. And signed by Coach Tyler. So you want the Russo thing signed by Coach Tyler? Lindsay says. Way to rub it in, Lindsay, because Melissa can't win. And we get off. Okay, Matt.
While
You make
Colin
tiny
figures
Russo
that out, I'm
helmets.
also just gonna make a plug there for MF Creations. He also made my background. He provided me and Colin with a couple photos for these lives and any of the other events that we do on our YouTube channel. Well, sorry, on Colin's YouTube channel. So yeah, this background as well is also made by Matt.
Now, mine is actually made by Trevor. I do have some from Matt, and I do appreciate it, but Trevor made this for me a while ago. Melissa says she wants a tiny Russo helmet as a keychain. Is that possible?
Oh yeah.
Yeah?
I after we were talking earlier today, I plugged into my program, and I think I can make one. Just painting is going to be fun.
Yeah, you have a guy that makes decals for that, don't you?
So I got a guy that does full mass wraps for me in Quebec, but that one, that's probably going to be a water slide decal that I'll just print off myself,
Okay, all right.
put on.
Yeah, instead of painting, because painting is gonna
Oh
be a
no,
bitch,
painting is
man.
going to be. Yeah, I'm not a good painter. Give me computer, give me programs. I can do all that. Just don't give me a paintbrush.
So it's funny because that's the company I own. I'm a painter. Melissa says in the chat. So this Melissa's comment. This is for me. It's all caps need. So that means she doesn't care if you're charging $200. I have to buy it, or we have to buy it. All right, let's get.
I'll look into that.
Let's get back into it. So yeah, we didn't get our goalie pulled on Wednesday until we let 7 in. We were 4 behind. They put Magid in. Now I love the kid. I love Magid. I was really waiting to see him play because I watched him all through camp, and he really impressed me in camp. And he didn't disappoint. He got in. Obviously had the jitters. Let his first goal in, and he was solid for the rest of the game. He really stepped in and proved his worth to the team, which is kind of what pisses me off about Fontaine being here. I don't know you, kid. I don't know you, Fontaine. I'm sure you're a great guy. And I'm assuming it's because of experience and age, but I think Milner's or Magid's more than good enough to be our third.
Yeah, I see a lot of a young rooster in Magid. His dialed in ability to play. He's constantly watching the puck. He's down 1 minute, shot back up the next.
Yeah, his mechanics
Like,
are great.
I see a lot of a young rooster in there because I remember when the rooster started with us, I always looked at people around me and I was like, "Do you know what? This kid is built tighter than a spring. He's down, he's up, he's down, he's up, he's left, he's right, he's up, he's down."
Yep.
I see that in Sam. I see a lot of that in Sam, and I really hope that he becomes our second next year or
me too.
in the coming years because he's dialed in. Like you said, he had that first one, free game jitters.
Yep.
But after that, he was solid.
100%. Now, go ahead, Matt.
Well, the pregame jitters, I kind of expect that you're coming in, your team's already losing. I mean, it's probably it was his first start too, right?
Yep.
Or not start, but his first time in.
His first game
Cold
for the
goalie.
Yeah.
I hate that when they bring in a cold goalie like that and just first shot. It's always going to be something.
It was necessary though. Milner was just having an off night, man. You know, and to the Titans' credit, like I bash on them a lot because of their coach. Again, for me, it's all coaching. It all comes down to the leader. The reason I say that, so people who tend to disagree with me, I've ran multiple companies. I've ran a lot of companies in my day, including some that had 174 employees and more. It starts at the top. You know, that person who's on the top is either, you know, going to push their boys to do their employees or whatever to do better, or they're going to push them to do worse. And in my opinion, it's all on the coach. To the Titans' credit, they're a rough team. They're a very aggressive, full of pressure team. And the reason I said because of their coach is because he was a bit of a basher, a bit of a goon when he played.
Yep.
And they seem to all take that style on, honestly. But we couldn't figure them out. Titan are just such an aggressive team, and Mooseheads by nature are I don't want to say docile, but we're not aggressive.
Why did we go with Milner as our backup vice Magic? That's what I'm curious.
I
Age.
think age. Yeah, I think age.
It is because of age.
Yeah.
Because Magid is a young 15 or 16-year-old, fresh to the league, and Milner has some
18.
experience in his league. They decided to to grab on to Milner
I'm not
this
sure.
year, and
I'm not sure if you know, Matt, but Milner was our third last year.
Yeah, I do recall that.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
John Siteman says Magid looks like Russo when he started my first game with the Moose. Will majorly benefit from another year of U18. I agree, and he'll be a great addition in the future. He moves quite well out there. Agree 100%. I think next year is definitely his year. And he's 16. Magid is. Yeah, and I think Milner's 17, something like that.
yeah, so he meshes with the group better because we have
Yeah.
not an older team, but we're not a young team. We're not the youngest.
Yeah. That's all I got to say about the T10. I think it was a hard fought game and we lost. Well, I guess it wasn't a hard fought game. We didn't play our best that game.
No.
We didn't have the team in front of Milner to even give him a shot, and he was having a bad night. It was a bad night all around. It is what it is. Chalk it up to loss, move on, and get him next time, right?
Exactly.
Hey, keep in mind, I believe we were missing our boys, right? Like we were missing 4 guys at that time, right?
Yeah, but can I also mention with missing of some of our boys, it has allowed other players to shine in the other games.
Yeah, 100%. Like Cataford, which I mean, we know he's a great player, but he was definitely the star on the ice since the boys have been gone.
Yep.
Yeah, I'll tell you right now, the 2 that shined the most this week, in my opinion, were Schultz on D and Cataford on offense.
Yeah. Well, definitely Cataford really stepped up though. Like, yeah, he's there. You know he's there.
Yeah. His presence is felt.
And he's always been there, but the issue is he gets overshone by some other players. Like Cataport has jumped a few lines throughout the path since the first half of the season. We're now in the first half of the season is now over. We're going into Christmas break now. The second half starts after Christmas. First half of the season, I think, would swimmingly. I think we did as a team. I think we did a lot. We had a lot of wins. We all had a lot of streaks, and we had some losses. But I think with some players missing, it has allowed other players to shine. I've noticed a lot more from Cataford in the past 3 or 4 games. I've noticed a lot more coming out of Schulte, and I've noticed a lot more coming out of a few other players as well.
Yeah.
I've noticed that with our star players missing and playing for Team Canada, it has allowed our guys that have always been there to kind of just go, all right, this is my time to shine.
I agree. So then we had St. John's on Friday.
Yeah, St. John was Friday.
Yep. We clutched that, but just barely. And this is my problem is we do better against better teams. When we play these lower teams like T10 and St. John, we tend to play down to their level instead of keeping the pressure on and playing our game. We tend to play their game. And we shouldn't have lost against T10. And we lost game 3. We'll get into that in a minute, but we lost in overtime against St. John's on Saturday.
Yep.
Now, these are teams that we shouldn't be losing to. I mean, we have an off night, we get a loss, great. It happens. But these are teams that we should be absolutely working over. You know what I mean?
Yeah, these are teams that, you know, they're not the bottom of the barrel, but they're getting pretty freaking close.
Yeah.
I mean, we can't sit there and say that we're the top of the league because we're not anymore. I think we're 6th, 7th last I looked.
We're 7th, but that'll probably change on Tuesday. But we did pick up 3 points? Picked up 3 points because an overtime win.
Yeah.
And then so we picked up 3 points.
Friday.
Yeah. So also that game on Friday, a lot of people didn't know, but that was our 1,000th franchise win. And Schultze had a beaut of an overtime goal to seal the deal. That was gorgeous, man. His dad was in attendance. I look over, his dad's jumping up and down. It was a beautiful, beautiful scene. Oh, by the way, Mike Schultz, Schultz's dad, will be coming on the show. He has confirmed that he will come on the show and be a guest and let us know what it's like to be a parent of a qmjhl player who is not from, you know what I mean, like an away parent, which will be a really interesting take on what they go through, because the goal is to let the fans know what goes into the games, everything that goes into the games. Like that's the goal here on the channel, right?
Yeah. That was the same night that Larman got his first qmjhl goal, correct?
Yep, that's on the docket as well.
His parents were also in attendance.
I didn't meet them, but that's awesome.
Yes.
That's awesome.
So they were down for the weekend. They did Friday and Saturday's game, and they flew up. Him and his parents flew out this morning. But his parents were down for his first qmjhl goal, which is amazing.
A lot of parents were in the building. We had McKinnon's parents in the building, Schultz. We had Ponzetto's mother was there. I don't know if either of you guys seen her, but she came all the way from Switzerland.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I get the two because of Davis. I confuse
Sweden and
Switzerland all the time now. But yeah, so we got that win. That was a good one. We squeaked it. We squeaked the win. Let's put it that way. And we went into overtime last night against St. John, and we were looking promising, and it just we couldn't clinch it.
Well, we went into overtime on Friday as well, did we not?
Yeah. That
So
was
both games we went into overtime, and we cannot, before we jump to Saturday's game, we cannot overshadow what happened Friday night, Colin. I feel like it got a little scrappy.
So it was actually pretty awesome. I forgot all about that, man. I didn't have that on the docket. Listen, I didn't even have it on the docket. So Welsh, if you ever hear this, bud, thanks. I attribute that win 100% to Welsh. Welsh, I don't know if he started the fight or what the hell happened, but gloves were dropped, and him and so-and-so, I don't care about their names, went at it. And, Welsh got a couple shots in, but it was a little lopsided. He was smaller than the other guy, and I think he ended up losing that fight, if I'm not mistaken.
He did, but it really set a fire under our ass.
Yeah, without that, I don't know if we would have won. And you know what? It's always good to see a little fight in the on the ring. This is the fact that the fighting's no longer allowed isn't going to stop it from happening. And it's just different penalties.
No, and I had a few.
Hey.
Well, and I had a few people in the stands as well say to me that they asked what happened to that fight, because I was at work, so I wasn't there Friday night when it happened. I saw it on replay. But I had a few people last night ask me what happens in that scenario. Like, there was a fight, how come they're out? And the way it looks like the league is taking this new rule is by saying, all right, you get one slap on the wrist. You get one as a team.
No, that's not it. Dylan explained this last time. He checked the rule book, and the new rule actually states for your first game, if it's more than 5 minutes left in regulation, you get a game misconduct, taking you out of that game for the rest of the game. If it happens after 5 minutes in the third, like in regulation time, then you get a suspension for the next game. So your first one is a game misconduct. Your second one, the second one from the same player, not from the team, second one from the same player, is game misconduct and a 1 game suspension. And then a 2 game suspension, then a 3 game suspension. So that's the way.
So is that what happened with the other fight as well?
The one with Moncton.
The Moncton players.
Yeah. So they got a game misconduct because it happened at 5 minutes into the third period. They got a game misconduct, and that was it. They're back playing the next day.
Okay, so that's what the people around me were asking as well, because there has been 2 back-to-back kind of fights now within the Quebec Maritime Division. That has been, the player has come back the next game.
Yeah. So that's basically the way the rule's going. The 2-3 loss. I don't really have much to say about that. We lost. It wasn't a great game.
Yeah.
We lost. We'll pick up.
We played pretty good though. We played pretty good last night.
It was an exciting
I
game.
know-
It was an exciting game. My
It
problem.
was an exciting game, but it was a lot of back and forth. The third was super slow.
My problem isn't that it wasn't a good game, because if they were both on the same level, these teams were both on the same level, it would have been a good game. But it shouldn't have been that close. We were, you know, it shouldn't have been a loss for one. If you're looking at stats, right? Like we're supposed to have the better team, and they shouldn't have beat us. My opinion, anyway. That's my opinion.
Fair enough.
So-
Hockey's funny in that way.
It is, isn't it?
No.
It's crazy.
Well, see, and my philosophy growing up and going to hockey games was, I'm going to a fight, and a hockey game needs to break out. That's not the way it works anymore.
It's funny. I
No.
just watched a Joe Rogan interview where he was talking to a guy who's he's another comedian, but he's big on hockey, and he was saying, like, hockey's a part of it. It's the only sport that fighting is actually part of the game, and he thinks it's funny that you need fighting in order to police the ice. And these are his words, not mine. He said there's actually people out there who are called enforcers, who their job is to keep the peace. And the heavyweights only fight the heavyweights unless the heavyweight has told one of the middleweights to calm the fuck down, and that heavyweight doesn't. Or the middleweight doesn't. That's when the heavyweight kicks his ass. So basically, he said you'd hear stuff like, "All right, guys, time to calm down out here. Somebody's gonna get hurt." And if you didn't calm down, it's a funny little TikTok, man. I love it. We got some comments here. We got Lindsay says, "I just hope the three boys come back. That the boys shining right now don't step back down." I agree. Hopefully they keep going. That's a good point. Hopefully the ones that are shining right now don't settle back into being comfortable when the other boys get back.
I think that when the other boys come back, they're going to be forced to settle down. I don't think there's going to be a choice. I think it's going to go back to the way it was. I think the lines are being played with now, but I think the lines are really going to get tweaked again and changed 10 times over when those boys come back, bringing our star players from this past week back down a notch. I don't think it's going to be an option.
So here's the thing. Why can't what line you're on doesn't mean how good of a player you are.
No.
Why can't they be a good player on a lesser line?
Because I doesn't have their chance to shine. So
Why?
I noticed that each line has its star player, and right now the way the lines have been is a lot of our star players this week play the first line 3 weeks ago with other star players that are not with us right now, and thus taking the shine away from our current star players.
That doesn't translate. If you're a good hockey player, you're a good hockey player if you're on first line or fourth line. That doesn't translate.
But if you're overshadowed by somebody else and there's favoritism shown to the other players,
that just
then
means you
it
don't get the
doesn't
same
give you
amount
the
of
opportunity.
That just means you don't get the same amount of attention. Overshadowing, but they're still supposed to do their job and play the game.
Oh yeah, no.
Right?
Oh yeah, no. I'm not saying they wouldn't, but you don't notice it as much. And if we're not noticing as fans, how do we know that that scouts and others aren't noticing it because they're being overshadowed?
Oh, don't get me wrong. I think Vidicek should be signed with an NHL contract right fucking now.
Yeah.
Right, but it's just not the way it is.
It's not the way. It's not that they're not playing the same style of game or anything like that. There's a lot more overshadowing when we're a full team.
I don't even think it's that, though. I think it's chemistry, man.
Yeah.
Right now, we got good chemistry going because our star guys are gone, so they're able to see more. But when the star guys come back, they have the same kind of chemistry with the other guys, and you can't have 5 guys on one line, 5 forwards on one line because they have chemistry with like 2 of the same guys.
Yeah.
It's all about chemistry. It's all about finding that right person for each of them.
And balance for each line.
Yeah, look at McKinnon and Druin.
Yeah.
Those two are on fire. And then they go their way to the NHL, and one does better than the other, a lot better than the other, right?
You know what?
And now they're together again.
You know what defense? You know what defensive pairing I like?
What do you like?
I like Schultz and
What's
McKinnon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was the defensive pairing. That was a really good pairing. So Steve says Robinson's start to give up the second goals or 2 goals when I start to shout his name in the second period. Robinson start to give up the 2 goals.
So
It proves
Basically,
that
crowd can
effort.
change how the goalie thinks.
Oh yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
100.
I
Oh
totally
yeah,
agree with that.
100%. Yeah.
Chance get to them.
Yeah,
Chance gets to
100%.
them
100%.
really bad.
Oh, can we talk about the reffing Saturday night? Like I'm
And how amazing it was.
What
Just
the
kidding.
hell? Like I am not a Starzomski fan, but I might have preferred him last night. Like that was tragic.
It was.
What was the real bad one?
There was a call for McPhee that McPhee was nowhere near him.
So I gotta rewatch that. I'm not gonna talk on that. Dylan said that was the last. That was when the whistle happened, but I thought it was Armand who got the whistle, and that the McPhee was behind the play. I don't know. I gotta go right back and rewatch that. But there was another one, another penalty that was just the tripping. The tripping. That was garbage. What?
Was that the overtime one?
Yes.
Yeah, that was that. I watched that on TV over and over, and I couldn't see it. Not to that degree that they called it for.
There was no trip. Now the skate, the stick definitely
It's hockey. It was hockey.
Yeah, the skate,
the hockey play.
The stick hit the skate, but like ever so gently on the side. There was no hip hooking motion. Yeah, and it looked like he just lost his balance. There was no trip there. None. Absolute shit call. Melissa says, yeah, of course, Steve started all those. Oh, so that was Steve Shoten Robinson. Oh, okay. I didn't know who it was. I know we had those loud guys to the left of me trying to do the soccer chant, and I love when that gets going, but they were loud as hell.
Speaking of being loud and proud, one of our former players is currently sitting in the box for a fight, Mr. LaRue.
Yes.
I am in the middle of this interview, live, whatever you'd like to call it, while supporting Zach on the big screen in front of me. And he just got 5 minutes for fighting.
I'm absolutely 100% okay with that. Give them hell. Give them hell, Lulu. Give them hell. All right. So, I'm going to say it again. I want to give a few shout outs just for people who have been going above and beyond to help the channel thus far. First of all, Matt on the screen here, thank you so much for all the designs you share. You can find him on Facebook at MF Designs. Creations. I apologize. Also,
Brian's been sharing my stuff like crazy, so I'm sure it's almost.
Also, Trevor Day, who is constantly making me designs and stuff, but you're a gem. I appreciate it. Ryan Hogan, who has done much the same. We got a lot of guys who like to create stuff visually on computers in our building. And then, of course, I can't not mention Scott McIntosh. Buddy Scott, I appreciate the shirt, man. I'm sure one lucky winner is really going to appreciate it as well. Thank you so much. So Scott McIntosh is the head of media relations. You see him in the Moose Minute and such. He's the one that supplied the shirt for us tonight. We're going to do that draw right now, actually. We got 11 people on. We've already talked about the games. We'll just get right into it. Stachio, the best is the 3 drunk guys in front of us the other night. Who's Stachio? So I know who the drunk guys were. I don't know what section you're in, man. Stachio's definitely not your real name. Unless it is, I mean, and then cool.
They're Italian, didn't you know?
Mustachio, a question. All right, so guys, you're not going to be able to be seen for a minute. I'm going to switch over to another scene, and we're going to get going with the giveaway. Actually, none of you are going to be able to see me, but you'll be able to hear us. All right, let's get rid of. Should have done this prior to. Sorry, guys. Get rid of this text. Gonna order. Move to bottom. There we go. All right, so. Can somebody in the chat just say if you can hear me or not? Melissa, if you're still watching, type yes or no if you can hear me. Just waiting on confirmation. The ones chanting soccer chant. Melissa, can you hear me? Before I start with this giveaway, I want to make sure that you guys can hear me. Yeah. Okay. There we go. Thanks somebody for answering. All right. Hey, Paul, Melissa, Steve. Okay. Everybody's answering now. I'm waiting for 5 minutes. It's probably just delayed. It's probably delayed. They probably all answered right away. All right. So this is the wheel. We have a lot of names on it, and if you can see, if you put more than one entry in, you're definitely in here more than once. I'm going to shuffle it. Here's the shuffle right here. I'm going to press that. We can hear you. How am I going to do this? How many times should I click the shuffle? You know what?
Do you have a dice in your room? You could roll a dice.
I don't.
And you could roll that amount of times.
I don't. How many wins we got this season?
You'd be able to bring it up quicker than I could.
All right, let me see.
I think we're at 15.
15?
I think, but I could be completely wrong.
Somebody check that in the chat for me, please, so I don't have to disrupt the stream. 4 times? 7 times? Oh, everybody's just putting in how many times to shuffle. Matt, let me know how many losses, too.
All right, we got 22 wins. And 13 losses.
All right, I'm going to do it 22 times. It shouldn't take that long. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. Wow. I lost count. I was reading the things.
Yeah, you went to 25.
Yeah. All right, that's good enough. All right, let's do it. Let's roll it. All right. What do we got? Who's going to win?
I'm still seeing the shuffle happening.
All right. So the winner is Amy Pulsifer Martin. Amy Pulsifer Martin. You can find me on Facebook, or you can meet me at the games, and at the game on the 28th, and I can give you the stuff then. But if you want it before Christmas, hit me up on Facebook. Just search Colin Landry, ColinLandry, and we can meet up, and I'll hook you up with your gifts. So that was the draw. Congratulations. Oh no, who was it?
There's definitely a good 2-minute delay between us and your YouTube.
Oh yeah, 100%. Did you?
Yeah.
Who was the winner? I know it was
something.
Yeah, Amy Pulsifer, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just trying to find it. It's not on there anymore. It says Donna Burns Pulsifer.
Yeah, because it takes it off once you in.
Okay. Just trying to find it.
I think this is one of the ones when every time you go, it'll take the winner off.
Yeah.
And then you have someone.
Whatever. I'll find it. I'll go back and look. Amy Pulsifer.
Congrats, Amy.
Melissa, you want to remember that name for me? Oh, geez. The chat is just all over the screen right now. Okay. So that was the giveaway.
Well, what's the chat saying?
It's all just 4 times. Tell me how many times to shuffle. And
Okay.
yeah.
I just wanted to make sure we weren't going to miss any key information from the chat before we kept going.
No, we're great. We're great. Okay, so that was the giveaway. Now, let's get into the extras. So, before the live here, what was the little bit of news that we found online there, Ryan?
So another former Moosehead, from the 2012 season, I'm pretty sure, Marty Firk just got a 5-game suspension for kicking another player, his opponent specifically, in the face/neck area.
Yeah.
In the chat, what is your thoughts on that? And also with you guys up here in the windows, what are our thoughts?
Absolutely disgusting. especially with what's going on right now with the death and the neck guards and all that stuff. It is an absolutely disgusting move. I get that he was a fan favorite, but that is absolutely atrocious. I'm putting it up on screen right now so people can see. It says Martin Ferk suspended 5 games for kicking opponent Lawrence Pilou to the face/neck area. That's absolutely disgusting.
Now, I mean, we don't know if that was purposeful or not, but the same thing as the whole Johnson thing. The skate should never have to go that high. Unless you were falling.
He wouldn't have been suspended if it wasn't purposeful. In all honesty, he should be arrested.
Oh, okay. I'm just watching it now. So he's getting checked into the boards, being pushed over, and he's kind of flinging his skates up like he's swimming type thing, and he got him in the neck.
Okay. Yeah, but who? Yeah. But did he kick the guy that was checking him?
Yeah, like what happened was the guy checked him in, and Martin Ferk, he's like kicking his feet in behind him because the guy's like trying to push him over the boards. And while he's kicking his feet, he ended up getting him in the neck.
Yeah, but he's been playing hockey long enough. He should know that those skates shouldn't come up and flail around.
Oh,
he should have just fell. He should have fell in. If that's the case, he should have fell in the box.
There's no way to put this on my screen, eh?
I put it on mine already. I showed it.
Oh, the
video? No.
I was gonna say Matt has the actual video though.
No, I didn't show the video, but I can bring it up and show. You want to let me know where to find it?
Yeah.
You gonna send me the link?
Yeah.
Okay. So we'll show it real quick. Again, the winner can send me a message on Facebook. Just COLANLANDRY, and I'll check my message requests and get right back to you.
Oops. It's over there.
All right, so I'm going to switch views now, guys, to show these guys.
To a page, just gotta scroll down a little bit to the video.
All right, so this is it right here.
Championnat suisse qui s'est fait couper au visage. Regardez la présence du patin là.
Ça, yeah.
C'est vraiment pas normal ce geste là.
Yeah, that doesn't seem that.
Suisse qui s'est fait couper au visage. Regardez la présence du patin là.
Doesn't seem like the other one where the guy kind of looked like he purposely kicked the guy.
That doesn't look intentional to me.
No.
Yeah, that's why I was like, we only know what was reported, right? And then Matt found the video, so I was like, oh, let's get it up. Let's take our looks. We can chat about it. The chat can chat about it.
You know, being in media now, I should probably watch these things before I comment on them. That wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. But again, he is a professional. He should know where his skates are.
Yeah.
Okay, what else do we have on the docket, boys?
I heard something about a league name change.
Yeah. I don't know how to feel about it. I guess you're going to get people who are going to complain. You're going to get people who are not going to complain. And I'm not really complaining, but I just don't like it. Me and Dylan talked about this. I don't like the way it rolls off my tongue.
Quebec Maritime Junior Hockey League?
Yeah.
Quebec Major Junior Hockey League.
Right? That sounds better. Quebec Major Junior Hockey League, it rolls off my tongue better. What I think it should have been, but it would have been a little bit more costly, is Quebec Atlantic Junior Hockey League. Or even Eastern Hockey League.
Well, we can't go Eastern Hockey League because we already have an EHL in Europe, I think it is. So we have to make sure we're not stemming on other
ECHL.
We're already doing that with the CHL.
Yeah.
The Champions Hockey League and the Canadian Hockey League. We're already doing it.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I like the change. I wish there was a little bit more inclusion. In the sense of, like they kind of just said Maritimes and they grouped all of us Maritime teams together.
Well, in Alberta, they think everything east of Quebec is Newfoundland anyway.
Yes. But I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it. I like the name. I wish they could have gone a little bit more creative with it. I get they didn't want to have to pay a whole bunch of money to create new logos and stuff like that. So they just, qmjhl was always their logo was always backwards because it's French and everything's backwards. Yeah. So, we finally have a qmjhl logo, which is nice. But I don't know. I don't know how I feel about the name change. I like it right now, but I might not like it tomorrow.
So Dylan says that I think Matt's just touched on it too, is there's a CHL in Europe. So why can't there be an EHL here in Canada?
Yeah.
Siteman says the challenge is that they were trying to keep the existing band branding. Yeah, exactly. To save money, probably for lawyer fees and jersey changes and all that stuff. I get it. I just it seems like it was the easy route to give us a name, but at least they're including us now.
But we didn't. None of us even seen it coming. I didn't see anything about, hey, tomorrow there's gonna be a special announcement. Nothing. It just kind of came out of nowhere.
Yeah. And John, you're right. It should have happened 30 years ago. 100%.
As soon as we came into the league, because that's what they said. Oh, well, all these maritime teams are in the league now. We've got to make them included. And it's like 30 years ago. Most of them joined. Yeah.
So that's it for that. We have trades going on right now. So today is the start of the trades.
Yes.
And
until January 6th, I think.
Yeah, 6th. I haven't seen anything on our end for trades yet. I thought we'd have one right off the rip to get things started with us, but I haven't seen anything from the Moose yet.
Yeah, nothing yet that I've seen either.
They might be waiting to see what pans out after the first couple days. And the fact that, see who's left and see what other handshake deals have been made, right?
Well, and when we do trades, I've noticed in the past, we kind of sit in the background and see what other players are doing, or other teams are doing. And then we jump on and go, hey, that guy just went from St. John's to Gatineau. Well, we're going to take him from Gatineau, and we're going to bring him into our team.
Exactly.
And that's that. And we usually do it at the deadline, like 30 minutes before the deadline. We typically grab who we want.
Our D is about to get bigger, Kevin says. Do you have some inside
my wife.
Kevin, do you have some inside information, or is that just what you're feeling? Let us know. So I think we've seen like 3 or 4 trades now come out that has been shared. Nothing I don't think that's too noteworthy. There's not like, oh my God, look what they got.
One of them was for a 2026 first round pick, wasn't it?
I think that was in conjunction with a different trade too, though.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Like they went player for player plus a 2026 round pick, and there was another one that the Saint or not Saint the Ciarlo or Charlo one that was included for 2025 first round pick, I believe it was. Seeing the Gravel,
I think it was 26. Yeah.
So this is what Siteman's talking about right now. Seeing the Gravel to Baie-Comeau from Blainville deal was quite interesting, considering their goaltending was pretty good as it was. And you're right, Charlo wasn't a horrible goalie. So, and I don't even think, but Baie-Comeau is really trying to go for it this year. The 2 goalies were the biggest deal so far, Dylan says as well. But again, I don't think that was a wow factor. Like, I don't think it was, you know what I mean? Like, I guess it's a pretty big deal that the goalies themselves were traded because, it's goalie, right? But I don't think either one of them hold a flame to other goalies in the league, right?
Not seeing any really big deals going on so far.
No. I've been checking the Q sites to see if there's anything. I can't see anything.
I honestly think it's going to be a slow trade period because a lot of teams don't have a lot to offer right now. There's a lot of teams that are in rebuilds. There's a lot of teams, such as ourselves, that have a mix of old and young, but we're in a rebuild. But I just think, based off of the teams we've played and seen how things have been going, I don't think it's going to be a big trade period for the league.
Yeah, but that's
I could be completely wrong, and I usually am.
This is probably the same way it is every year. There's always teams that are rebuilding. There's always teams that are going for it, and there's always teams in the middle, and there's always teams that have nothing to give. Right?
Yeah.
It's I don't know if that. Hey, what's up, Taizay? Yeah, I don't think there's any difference in this year versus any other year.
No, this year it seems like a lot of teams don't have much to offer. I know that's something I'm noticing at least.
The one Ryan was thinking of was the Gatineau one where Baie-Comeau gave up 2 first and a second as comps for the Boyland thing that at the draft. What up, Dylan?
What's going on?
So Kevin thinks that we're getting a 20-year-old defenseman. He says he heard it from a credible source. I don't think that's going to happen. I'd like to get another defenseman, but I don't think that's where our 20s are going to land.
Never know. No, nothing's actually confirmed at this moment with any trades. Anything that would have been confirmed would have been announced
Yeah,
by now.
I agree.
But Baker Mo's traded their next 3 years worth of first round picks.
Yeah.
Today.
Yeah.
They've sent them
Yeah,
out.
was that what I saw about the 2026?
Yeah, that was
They
second, let me pull that
gave
up.
out 2 first rounds and a second.
Yeah,
They gave up
the post that I saw was in French, so I
So
tried to
the
make
20
the best of it.
the 2026 was to Blainville. It was in the goaltenders deal.
Okay.
And then it was the 2024 and 2025 and a second in 2026. Plus, they've already also given up a 4th round pick for the Bollier trade that
So is
happened
this all
earlier.
Baker-Mo?
That's all Baker-Mo.
Yeah, Baker
So
Mo's
they're
going
building
hard.
for their future, which is great to see.
No, Baker-Mo's like
They're getting
getting
rid
rid of
Yeah,
everything.
they're-
They're building
yeah.
for this year.
Oh,
this year they're going for it.
okay.
Which I don't think the goaltending thing was a smart trade. Like, is Gravel really that much better than Charlo?
So there's talk that Gravel's going to be a flip.
Oh, okay, that makes more sense.
There's talk that Gravel, although Gravel, it came out being reported that actually it was from Baker-Mo's or from Blainville's coach or GM, one of the two, where they said that Gravel pretty much asked for a trade at the start of the year. He wanted to be on a team that has a contending opportunity. And the Blainville person obviously said he played hard enough to obviously put himself in that position where he was desired. So, but there's talk that he's potentially being flipped to Sherbrooke for a goaltender who's with Team Canada right now in St. Hilaire.
Yeah, aren't they from? Oh yeah, okay, sorry, I was thinking of a different goalie. That would suck. Getting traded to a team that's going for it because that's what he wants, and then gets shipped down to Sherbrooke, who's what they're building for 2 years from now, 3 years from now.
2 years
Something
from
like
now,
that.
yep.
Yeah, that sucks. Poor guy.
But again, that's not confirmed that
Yeah.
he's possibly being flipped, but it's been
all
mentioned
speculation.
by a few people that they believe Baker-Mo is going to use him as a flip to them for that.
The worst thing is for us fans is this is all speculation of what we think could happen and what we think might happen and what should happen. And until we get the word from the Moose, it's literally all speculation, and it's cool to play the game, but it sucks as well. Like, it's hard to sit here and not know what the future is for our beloved Moose.
So I'm looking at their stats, and I understand why Baker-Mo made that trade, because Gravel's stats are actually better than Carlos.
By how much?
Carlo is a save percentage of .896.
Ooh.
And Gravel has a save percentage of .912 on a worse team.
Yeah. Yeah.
Games played though. And
Alright.
25 for Gravel. But what about the other
Oh,
one?
it is Leland stage.
But the fact that Baker-Mo's traded 3 first-round picks, a second-round pick, and a 4th-round pick so far for players is interesting. And then there's just a few more like lower-tier trades that have happened, but nothing of any stature.
No. Nothing that's leaving you going, whoa.
Yeah.
All right, so I guess we'll just have to wait and see what happens with trades. We got our World Juniors going on. Our boys are out there supporting us. When's the first game, Dylan? Is it Boxing Day, the first actual game?
Boxing Day.
So Boxing Day is the first day of the tournament.
But there's pre-games prior to, right?
There will be pre-tournament games. I I'll pull these up right now if I can find
No, I
them.
wonder if they're
I know
broadcasted.
I know 2 of them are, but I don't know if they're Canada. I know there's 2 broadcasts that I saw on the TSN schedule.
Of the preseason? Of the
Yes.
pre-tournament? Okay.
Yeah, the pre-tournament.
Cool. I'd be interested to see them, but they're all really early in the morning, right?
No,
The
for
whole tournament.
for Canada, no.
No?
No, no, yeah, I was gonna say the whole
For
tournament's
Canada,
gonna
we
be
play
early.
We play 9:30 in the morning on Boxing Day, and then every other game's at 2:30.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. So I'll be definitely watching that. And tell the people where they can find that, by the way.
That is all on all of the information for the times and everything, and the dates are on the Hockey Canada website.
No, I mean, where can they stream it or watch it?
Yes.
All on TSN.
Well, TSN will having most of it.
TSN has
I
it all.
might-
TSN airs every game.
Okay.
Yeah, I would say I might do a viewing party or 2. We'll have to wait and see.
CHL?
HFX Sports Bar. Yeah,
CHL doesn't
HFX
air.
Sports Bar. They always have a huge thing for the Canada games. They have since they opened.
Yep.
And you know, if you don't have cable or a means to watch it, hit Ryan up. He sells subscriptions of IPVTV. Is that right?
IPTV.
IPTV. We use it ourselves. It's an excellent way to stream the games, and he has top-notch customer service. So all you have to do is join his Discord, and if you can't find the games, he'll direct you to it, or I'll direct you to it. We'll make a video for it, whatever. So hit Ryan up on Facebook, and he can get you started with that. It's a really good price too. I mean, I hate to turn this into a sales pitch, Ryan, but it's only $20 a month for your first device, and then $10 for every secondary device. And you can pretty much watch whatever you want, whenever you want with that subscription. It's actually a really good deal, and it works on everything from Amazon Fire Sticks to PCs to Android boxes. As long as you don't have if you don't have the first Android box, it'll work.
Yeah.
Yeah. So definitely check Ryan out on Facebook. You can find him at Rye Guy on Facebook. Moving forward, we did get Vidi back. Vidicek came back in the lineup Friday night. Yeah, Friday night.
Yep.
He's been kind of cold since he came back. He's been working hard. You can see he wants it, but he's been more a support player without Doomer there. Would that be fair to say? Would you guys think, guys?
No, I'm gonna say no on that. Not because of the way my stance on Jordan, but I think Vidi is playing through some disappointment. He didn't make the team. He's a little disappointed about that. And I don't blame him. We played St. John's back to back. They're a rough team, as we've seen. And I think Vidi was playing through. We'll call it an injury. We'll call it because he was a little upset about not making the team, and I think he has a right to be that way. Now, should he drag that on 3 weeks from now when we get back? No, but I think that's what I'm going to give him on this one.
I'm going to disagree, not because I like disagreeing. I'm only disagreeing because I've seen him play and he was working hard. Like, it's not like I didn't see defeat in him as a player. He was playing hard, he was working.
Friday he had 2 assists.
Like I said, he's more of a support player at this point. He's not shining like Cataford is right now. Right? But I seen him working hard. He looked like he wanted a goal. It's like he had almost like the opposite. Like he has a chip on his shoulder. Is the way I seen him working on the ice.
Oh, in all fairness, when did he actually show up to play? Because he's flying from Sweden, right? That's not a.
No, they were in Ontario. They were in Ontario.
Were they in Ontario? Oh,
yeah.
fuck.
And he showed up.
All over the place.
He showed up Thursday. He was here Thursday. He was back by Thursday.
Right.
Yeah. So he had plenty of time.
So he had 4 shots on Saturday, and he had, I believe it was 2 shots. He had 2 shots on Friday. So he had 6 shots in those 2 games.
And we got demolished in shots there Friday night, did we not? Like absolutely
38 to 21.
Yeah, we were shit
38 to 21.
Yeah, the team did not show up Friday, man. They didn't really show up this week.
Like, but Welsh certainly did.
They played a better game. They played a better game Saturday.
They did 100%.
I feel they deserved to win. They deserved to win Saturday more than they did Friday.
I agree. I'll agree with that 100%.
And I want to give credit to on the Friday night's game. One of the big pieces that I noticed that helped Schultze score that game-winning goal was Lermont on the face-off draw.
Oh, because he won that draw.
He won that draw. He fought, like, it wasn't a clean win. He fought for it. He won it right back to Schultze. And then Schultz went around the skate around for behind, like by our net, and then went up and scored. So
it was a beauty of a goal too, eh?
It was.
He went bar down on that blocker side.
Glove,
he skated in from the glove and went bar down blocker side. Did he not? I'd have to rewatch, but I'm pretty sure that's.
I thought he went short. I thought he went short side on it.
I don't know, I'll take another look at it, but I thought it was bar down on the blocker side. So we talked about the 1,000th win. We talked about Lermont. We didn't actually talk about Lermont's goal. We mentioned it. It wasn't a beautiful goal by no means. He was
goal's a goal.
Yeah, it was. They don't ask you how, right?
Ask you how many.
That's right. He was knocking in trash rebounds, which is something that teams do to us all the time because we can't clear it. And he didn't give up. He kept whacking at it until it went in. And he talked to me after the game. He said it was really good to get that monkey off his back. So he's excited, and they did keep the puck for him, by the way. I asked Schultze, and they did pick up the puck for him.
Yeah.
So we got the third jersey will only be worn 6 more times.
6 more times.
Yeah.
How do we feel about that?
I'm okay with it. I think that's supposed to be a special thing that we see. I really like our whites and our greens. The red's great to break up the monotony, but I like our jerseys.
So we'll be wearing the red or the white when we come back. It'll be the white jersey.
We come to our whites.
Yeah, it switches for halfway through. But I like our jerseys. I'd much sooner see them than the red ones. The reds were great for nostalgia, but they didn't even look like the original jerseys.
I don't like them.
They didn't
I've said it.
on the
I said it at the start. I'm not a fan of them. I see those jerseys again. We'll go back to what I've been saying. Similar to this one that's above me right here, just above my thumb there. I see that jersey there, which I wear, and I see the 94's jerseys, and the colors. I see Ramparts. Yeah. I don't see Mooseheads in them. I see Ramparts with that color red.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of them, but I'd be a bigger fan of them if they had something on the shoulders, like some separation.
Yeah, every one of our jerseys have had something on the shoulders, except for the black one.
Yeah.
The black Halifax one.
Yeah, and I really like that one too. That would have been cool to bring back.
The 25th anniversary jersey too was all just beige, right? The one in your back.
Yeah, it's this one right here above, right where I'm pointing right there.
But there's nothing on the shoulder on that one.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, true. But again, that's one of those things along with like the colors and stuff. It reminds me of the Ramparts. It's weird.
Yeah.
So we also got to talk about the community. The boys are always getting in the community, and I that's one of my favorite things about the Mooseheads is they're very involved with the community, and this past week was no exception. They went down to the Evergreen Festival, which, in my opinion, when it comes to hockey, that Evergreen Festival was a bit of a joke. They didn't take...
they dropped the ball on pretty much everything hockey.
Yeah, everything. I'd like to see them... Like, apparently it's a great festival because there's multiple parts and it's spread out throughout the boardwalk and other areas. But I'd like to see them focus a little bit more on that aspect because there is 5,500 season ticket holders for the Halifax Mooseheads, and that could have played to their advantage, and they didn't execute. So much so that the Mooseheads were supposed to be there from 4 till 8?
6 to 8.
6 to 8?
6 to 8.
6 to 8.
And they ended up taking off at 7. There was just nobody down there. And I know people are mad about that. You can go ahead and voice your opinions if you want. No.
Doesn't look good on either one of the sides. That whether somebody's down there or not, if they're advertised to be there, be there.
There was also some miscommunication as well because when their initial post they made earlier in the day, they had said 6 till 8 in the sport zone, and then there was another post made. I think that was the Mooseheads that posted that one, And there was another post made later in the day by Evergreen stating that the Mooseheads would be down there from 6 to 8, but didn't say where. And the boys were later spotted closer to 7 o'clock down in with the refreshments area, and then later spotted down the stage, which was the complete other end from the sports area, where people were looking for them.
Okay,
So
so
there was only one post made by the Mooseheads
The only
stating
spots
sports
that
area.
they were in the sporting area because they were playing ball hockey and stuff with people, and then they went over to the refreshment area. Those were the two places that they were at, because when I got down there, it was 7 o'clock, and they were taking their jerseys off right at the refreshment area,
Yeah.
which is right next door to the sporting area. So I don't see that being as a miscommunication, because you turn your head and it's right there.
Yeah, but if people went to the sports area, the refreshments and food and stuff were on the other side of the warehouse. So if you didn't come in via the boardwalk and didn't know, you would miss it. But I still understand where you're coming from. Why were you in the refreshments area if you were advertised as being in the sports area, where people were looking for you, where you were advertised?
we could just agree that there was no communication through the Halifax Mooseheads or the Evergreen Festival when it came to hockey. It was poorly executed. So I'd like to see them work on that next year. And hey, Evergreen Festival, reach out. There's plenty of people who own Facebook pages, who own YouTube channels, or who just know a shit ton of people that can help promote you guys. Reach out. We also had Dominic McKenzie and Cade Mosier drop by Seaside Elementary to visit some of the kids there. I love seeing them at schools. To me, that's breeding the next generation of hockey fans.
Yep, 100%.
Melissa says, and taking the jerseys off means they're done when it came to the Evergreen Festival. So not everyone will recognize them without their jerseys, but people expect to see them and know what to look for with the jerseys, 100%. So they went to the school, and then also, I think it was in that same day, a bunch of the boys were at the Ronald McDonald House with the kids there. I just love seeing our boys give back to the community. I think that's more important than the game itself, in all honesty, because these young men are leaders. They're role models in our community, and I think the more community involvement, the better for these boys. It helps them. It helps them grow mentally. It fortifies emotional growth with these kids. Like to me, it's better than the hockey itself. Anyways, that's my rant.
Well, and it brings a reality to the game as well, right? You see these guys play on the ice all the time, and after the 60 minutes is over, you go home and you've got some Moose swag, or you're wearing a jersey or whatever. But to see them at your school, to see them at the Ronald McDonald House, to see them anywhere in the community, and you realize that these aren't just, you're not just there for 60 minutes of hockey. These boys are here for the whole year. They're actual people, right? It kind of brings everything back down to earth.
Yeah, I understand. I just want to say, those of you who know, I'm not going to get any further into it, but I want to say a big public thank you to Mama Joe for her Christmas gift to my son. It was a magical gift, and he's going to have a friggin' blast. Thank you.
He was pretty gobsmacked.
Yeah. So we. Oh, go ahead, Dylan.
I want to go back and touch back on the juniors for a moment. So it's come out from Mark Masters what the practice lines have been, which is most likely what the lines will be for at least the first preseason games, or pre-tournament games. Sorry. So you got Dumais, who's playing on the second line with I always mess up on this guy's name. Celebrini. He's one of the guys who's slated to go possibly first overall in the draft. And you got Furlong, who's playing on the second line defense with Tristan Leno.
Wow. So who the hell do they have on first line if those guys are all on second?
So they have Lamoureux on the first line, who is from
OHL.
No, he's a Q.
Is he a Q? Lamoureux?
Yeah, he's a Q. We've played him.
I forget what team he was on.
I think he's Valdor, isn't he?
No. Oh my God. Why isn't I gotta look at the games because we played them recently.
Which is why I thought it was Gatineau.
We played him. One second. Where is it? I'm pretty sure it's Drummondville.
Ooh, one of Sly's.
Yes, it's Drummondville.
One
Wow.
of Sly's kids.
So he's on the top line on the defense, and Matejchuk. I'm terrible with
I
pronouncing
don't know.
these
I don't
names.
even know that name.
He's from one of the other leagues, and then it's Furlong and Leno, and then the goalies what they have listed, and this isn't necessarily who's like the starting positions. They have Ratzloff, then Rousseau, and then St. Hilaire.
So did you just say they have Furlong on the front line?
No,
Second,
second line.
Second. Oh, okay.
second with Leno.
Gotcha.
So they
And
got all the
on-
moose on second in that lineup.
Yeah, they're all in the second position.
Yeah.
So that'll be something to look at
Yeah.
when it comes
Goalies
to.
are in alphabetical order. That's what they did for that.
Oh, so it is. But I could see St. Hilaire being the third. So
Yeah,
I
yeah,
I see it
100%.
being Ratzloff and Russo being the two.
Yeah.
I'm hoping
Okay,
Russo's the starter.
Russo will be the starter. That's what everybody's
That's
calling him
biases,
anyway.
I guess.
Everybody, like every hockey analyst,
Yeah.
is calling him for first. 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here's hoping that they're correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
So we return on the 28th at home against Charlottetown.
Does that mean we get a Christmas break from these updates?
No, because if there's going to be any trades, I'm probably going to talk about them midweek or something like that.
Cool.
We'll go over all the trades.
Just so that our viewers know as well, right?
Yeah, the whole league is now on pause. Yesterday was the last day
Yeah.
for the league.
We also have a interview coming out with Mav on Wednesday. We also have
Which is actually a really, really fun one.
It's a long one, but it's worth the watch. He's a really funny guy. Then we don't have any interviews lined up. I was supposed to do LaRue today and yesterday, but we kept getting. Oh, look at that! Turned one of my PCs off, and it just didn't agree with me.
You've got the God's shine.
Right. We were supposed to do LaRue, and it just couldn't work out between our schedules. So he will be on eventually. Just not sure as of when yet. He's got his questions. I think.
Well, that's okay. He's just given us more content to speak about since
Yep.
he ended up in the box tonight.
Yep. We have.
It's every game though.
Yeah.
Yeah. He didn't end up in the game on Friday night because I watched it and he wasn't in the box at all.
So
At this point, I think that's more newsworthy than him being in the box.
So while we're talking about LaRue, I'm not going to shine any light on this idiot's YouTube channel. But there was, I don't know if you guys seen it or not, because I came across it by accident. There's a guy who last year basically did a whole video as a smear campaign against Zach LaRue. It's
French.
It's a Moncton-based channel. I know that because they're Wildcat fans, and I think they're just gonna hate on it for him because they lost him. But they went on to say that LaRue should have been simply kicked out of the league, and all kinds of garbage. Now, if this guy ever watches this, which I doubt it, because he likes the kitty litter. But if you do ever watch this, man, you don't know LaRue. You don't know LaRue like the four of us know him, like the 11,000 plus fans in the Scotiabank Center know him. The kid has a heart of gold and the soul of an angel. It's his job to do what he does on the ice. He doesn't need medical help. He's a great kid. So know who you're talking about and do your research before you start slandering people on YouTube. It's a ridiculous video.
If you're going to talk about that video, can I talk about that other one that I pointed out to you?
Yeah, go ahead,
Where
man.
there's another YouTube channel where, and I'm not going to point it out, I'm not going to say where it is or where people can find it.
No, we're not here to slander
But
other channels. This is
to
me. This is meant for the people who created those videos.
Last year, I was sitting in section 7, up towards the top, right in the section next to me, and roughly about the middle, there was a medical emergency. On this YouTube channel, the person sat there and recorded the entire thing and posted it on YouTube. They did nothing to try to help. They didn't make the situation any worse either. They weren't like reaching over people to try to film, so I'll say that. But they still sat there and filmed it while people were screaming for the medics. I got up and ran out of my seat to get the medics because where I'm sitting, it's hard for them to see like where that angle is. So I ran up and got them. But this person sat there and then put it on YouTube. That is somebody whose life has been affected. That's somebody whose family has been affected from that situation. And you think that's okay to sit there and video it and put it on YouTube? In my personal opinion, I don't care what anybody says, that is absolutely disgusting.
That's the society we live in now. Most people are more willing to make others aware by videoing it than they are to help, which is absolutely disgusting. I agree.
World star. Yep, exactly.
Yeah, seriously.
And that's the thing. Like, we expect our boys to be better. We should be better. Like, if you're going to be in the stands, help somebody out. Like, we had a medical emergency in ours as well. It was a lady taking a seizure. Everybody just ran and got, like, everybody was screaming down to the paramedics. Nobody got their phones out. That's ridiculous. Their phones away that were... So, Trevor said he told people that were recording to put their phones away, so he must have been around the same area at the same time, or what?
No, I think that would have been a different... Because Trevor doesn't sit where I sit.
Yeah.
So that would have probably been another incident that happened over in his area or type of thing.
Yeah. No, so I got to confess, I get corrected a lot by my family. I can be a little crude at times and a little heartless without thinking. I try to have a good heart and be a good person, but sometimes I forget. And we had an incident at the playoffs last year where a gentleman, he actually lost his life. I was far away. There was nothing I could have done, and he was already getting the assistance he could get. But I at first pulled out my phone to record, and my daughter looked at me and said, "What are you doing?" She was 15 at the time. I love her. She's a good kid. I'm proud of her. But she told me, "What are you doing? Put that away. You don't need to record that." And she was 100% right. I didn't have to record that. Neither does anybody else.
No, Trevor, the one that I'm talking about is the one, like, it happened in, like, mid-game. This one wasn't before the game. The one that Colin was talking about was before the game.
Yeah, we all came in to no music, a fire department, medical emergency, everything for that one. We're all talking about the same one.
Yeah, it was delay a game. The seats were already full, 100% full.
Yeah.
It was after the pregame. The refs were on the ice, and I think we all had come out onto the ice. Actually, all our team was in their respective boxes.
No, not yet. Not yet. It was playoffs. The only reason I remember exactly when it was is because it was the day that I filmed that interview with the Q.
It was in your section there, Matt.
Yeah.
It would have been behind you.
But it was the day that I filmed that with the Q because I went down and the camera guy was in front of me. I went down to my seat and I looked over to my right and I saw what was going on.
Oh, John says we delayed warm-ups. That's what we delayed.
Yeah, we delayed our warm-up.
It wasn't the game.
That was one of those. That was one of the games when you guys were sitting up behind me, but in the upper bowl. Because Melissa
we were
Melissa
on the
put out
side.
there was one where Melissa put out a video saying Dylan's getting going already, and that same day something happened over in Isaac's section.
It was 16 that it happened.
Well, the one I'm talking about is over in Isaac's section.
We're talking about completely different episodes. The person took a heart attack in his seat halfway up the lower bowl, and they took forever to get him out. And
they had to call the fire department to come to assist.
People were actually... Oh, I didn't see... maybe there was fire. People were actually complaining, saying, "Start the game!" When this person was dying. Old man had a heart attack right in front of his wife at the game.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, God rest his soul, he didn't make it. But that was in section 16.
Yeah, it was across.
Yeah.
Anyway, do we have any lighter topics?
So we return Charlottetown 28th, and then we have Battle of Nova Scotia the 30th and 31st. Ryan's going to be in attendance in Cape Breton, where he belongs.
I will be.
Nice. Wearing what jersey?
Probably none.
Yeah, bullshit. We know what jersey he's gonna wear.
Look, what there, and for anyone looking to join me on that game, they did just open Upper Bowl, so they must have achieved their 3,000 because Upper Bowl's open.
Now listen, I doubt I would go to a game with you in Cape Breton, daunting a Cape Breton jersey, buddy.
Hey, I didn't say I'd be wearing that one now, did I?
And you have to drive all the way back for the game the next day. Forget that. You're
So-
crazy.
Any
Yes.
trades that we're gonna make? Do you think we make before that game that we come back?
I think we have a trade coming up within the next couple of days. I think we're gonna make a big trade in the next couple of days.
I said earlier that I think we'll be one of those last minute teams to sit back and relax like we've done in the past and see what other trades are made. And we'll jump in there either a day or two before and do what we need to do.
No.
So one interesting, we compare this trade period to last year. So far, there's been 4 or 5 trades this year on opening day. Last year, there was 22
wow.
22, yeah.
on opening day.
The Moose has something I think the Moose has something they gotta do in order to wait to I think they're gonna do something big first and then wait.
Last year, we made the trade for Doucette on the 28th, I believe it was.
Yeah.
So it's
Is when that.
so it's like a fucking 3-week span, eh?
It goes to the 6th, yep.
Yeah. But 20-year-olds can be traded at any time, correct?
20-year-olds can be traded at any point, so can Euros.
Yeah. Yeah. That's crazy.
Europeans are in the same.
There's a lot of
Thing.
red tape to trade a euro, though, isn't there? Because we go through a lot of red tape to get them.
Well,
Yes and no.
They're already in Canada. There can't be much more red tape than that. Trade them to another team in
Yeah,
Canada.
but I just knew there was a lot of red tape, like for some of these guys to even join our teams, right?
I
So I
was-
wasn't sure if there would be a lot of red tape in trades as well.
I would say to get them here, there's probably a lot of red tape, but I think to keep them here, it
Well,
wouldn't be.
it would involve like transfer of like their visas and stuff to the new organization. There
Yeah.
are some stuff that has to happen legally for them to be able to play.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, which is what I was getting at. A lot of red tape to get them here, let alone trade them, right?
there's more involved to trade somebody who's non-Canadian than there is somebody who's Canadian. Somebody who's Canadian, it's like, hey, you're going to play for them now. If like just putting it bluntly, right? Like I'm not saying that's how it works, but then you got like an American or a European where it's like, all right, we gotta start this paperwork so we can transfer everything to that team and they can transfer it, get it submitted to the governments, get it approved and this and that and allow it to go. So there is more involved.
So really, based off of that, you would, if a trade were to happen with a euro, you really as a team have to start the process, collective process, almost a month before you can even start anything, just in case the paperwork doesn't go through. Is that what I'm getting at? Or is that what you're getting at?
Well, no, it
Or is that
doesn't.
what I'm hearing?
It doesn't take longer. It's just there's
Okay.
more steps that got to go because it's easier. It's easy to trade them in the sense that they are already here. So like they already have like their visas and all of their permits or whatever they need to be able to play here. It's just transferring the paperwork to the new team's name type
Gotcha.
of thing.
When they're drafted, though, they kind of decide if they want to come and play or not, can't they?
They can, yeah.
So if
but
they're
some-
out here, they decide to play for Halifax, and someone decides they're going to trade them. Do they have a say in that? That's what I'm curious about.
If they negotiated a no trade clause.
Yeah. Okay. So
Well,
they similar thing. Like
They
the
could
NHL.
they could refuse to play.
Yeah.
They could flat out refuse
Yeah.
to play and get sent home. But
Same
that's the
thing
only
happens
they
if
can
they
do.
choose us over a university, correct?
What's
What do you
that?
mean?
I said this. Is it a similar situation as to like if they choose to play for us, like in the draft year, if they choose to play for us over a university, same kind of thing where the no trade clause kind of comes in?
No, they have to be offered
You
a no
have to-
trade clause.
You have to negotiate
Yeah.
a no trade clause.
Just
You're
because-
not
Okay.
just automatically given.
Yeah, just because
Because
you
I
chose
know
to
there
go
was a
C-
few
just,
of our boys.
just because you chose to go CHL instead of NCAA. You don't get a oops, I made a mistake clause. You know what I mean? Like, you can get traded unless the team gives you that in writing that you will not be traded.
Oh, okay.
Right.
See, I thought with the NCAA boys came over, they were with us. They made that choice, so they were ours.
Yeah, and if not,
Go ahead.
If they don't get that in writing, then they're just screwed.
It can happen.
And
Gotcha.
even then, if you do put it in writing, they can still be traded. You just they have to agree to it.
Yeah, because we have one or two boys in our team, I think, that are no trades.
I think
No
we only
trades, I
have
think,
one.
but I could be wrong.
We only have one right now, I think.
I believe there's more than one.
You think there's more than one?
I
Mhm.
gotta say, I think there's one or two, but I don't know. You guys are much more sports analysts than I am.
There might be two. There might be two. Yeah. I don't think there's any more than that, though.
No, I don't believe so. There could be more.
Yeah.
We don't know what their negotiations were.
By the way, I was speaking with somebody who told me that the NCAA will basically smear the CHL to anybody who's thinking of going that direction.
I'll just call out who said that. It was Stephen Davis. He said it in our interview.
Oh, he did too, didn't he? Okay, somebody else. I was talking to somebody on the weekend who told me that.
Davis said it in our interview.
Yeah, so I won't even get into it because you can just watch the Davis interview. Yeah, he said it. But yeah, it's ridiculous. The QMJHL offers a lot to their guys, and I was speaking to a parent.
Well, just the CHL in general.
Yeah,
CHL has. I mean, these guys are set for life. When they go to university or anything, it's paid for.
Yep, 100%.
It's part. It's part of their ad campaign that used to play last year.
They get their choice by any university who wants to pick them up.
Yeah,
Yep.
Any university that approaches them.
Yeah, they have their choice. If six approach them, say, I want you to play for us, come to school for us, they can just choose and it's paid for.
Yeah, they'll hear out their offers and be like, I like that one, but I'm waiting for this one to possibly reach out if they don't. And players that are making their decisions usually have to make up their minds by like January.
So, do we have any
Mid-January.
Do we have any predictions on the next 3 games?
There's gonna be a lot of sticks, a lot of jerseys, and a little bit of ice.
I think they got to get pucks deep and pucks to the net.
You go bar down.
These are some big guys there, and there's Colin knows what I'm referencing there.
In all honesty, I think we need to focus on our defense in the off period, and just we really need to work more on our defense. We rely too heavily on our goaltending to not have some defense.
I agree, but I don't think Mooseheads have ever been defensive minded. I think we're very offensive minded, I guess, and
which is scary because it kind of turns us into almost like the Edmonton Oilers, where let's just go out and try to outscore our opponents.
100%. Yeah. So I look forward to what I think is going to happen. Is I think we're going to pick up mostly forwards in this trade. I don't even think we're going to get a defenseman. If history repeats itself.
True, which I hope it doesn't.
Yeah. I agree. I would love to see a strong defenseman come on the team and help us out. But where would we put him? Knowing Jimmy's got to put him on fucking fourth liner backup, or third liner backup.
Toss him in the net.
Let's talk.
Dume
about
comes
the net.
back. We put him in pads.
Let's talk about the net for a second, because
Put Jimmy in the net.
It has 3 red posts with a big half circle white one, another white one going down, more white one at the bottom.
Oh, okay.
Honestly, I honestly think the net sometimes should be a third star.
And what is
at least the crossbar.
What is that net looking thing that's attached to the red there, Dylan?
The net looking thing, the mesh?
Yeah, what is it? It's called mesh?
The mesh.
Oh, okay, cool. Thanks for clarifying. No, let's talk about the net for a second, because I noticed the last 3 games more than the rest of this half of the season that, and you've mentioned it to me, but I just never really noticed it. We're allowing the opponents to pitch a tent and sit in front of our goalie and
Mhm.
nobody's moving them. I'm behind the
Nobody's
goalie,
even trying.
and I'm screaming, "Clear the net! Clear the net!" But they don't listen to me.
Nobody's
Right?
nobody's even trying to move.
No, no one at all. And the
if
worst
you
part
came
is,
to Cape Breton, they might listen to you because they'd actually hear you.
they would probably fucking hear me, unless they're paying for their fans. But like, there's plenty of people that could do it. Larmont could sit in front and move them boys. Dylan,
But see,
Schultz.
Usually the guy who goes in front of the net to move the net is a defenseman. Because you have the forwards.
Yeah, waiting
do
for
it,
the
so-
break. Waiting for the break. I get that.
So having Lermont there, he could do it, but it's
He can play
not.
two-way. He can play two-way.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is it's not genuinely his position. It's not generally
No.
forward position to be in front of your own net, moving a guy out of it.
That's a
It's usually the
defensive
forward.
position, right?
Melissa,
It's usually the forwards are in front of the opposing team's net, trying not to be moved.
Melissa says they
Yeah.
should hear him. He's loud. I don't think I'm that loud. I'll tell you right now, if I'm screaming and Sebastian's screaming, I can hear Sebastian over me. 100%. That boy's loud. He should be screaming.
Look in the comments, Colin. There's somebody that Eden wants you to talk about, apparently.
I don't even see anything from Eden.
Oh, is she in like the chat?
I
Oh,
don't
talk
know,
about
Ken.
McCormick. It's in the Let's Be Heard chat because for some reason she likes to do things weird and different.
Oh, okay.
Let's be heard. I don't even have Facebook
Not
open.
knocking her at all. It's just
I don't even have Facebook open. How would I know?
says I can't watch the replay and see what Colin said about McCormick. He wasn't happy last night, nor was I.
McCormick. What about McCormick?
I don't know.
I don't care if McCormick's happy. He's a piece of shit.
I think she's talking about you being happy and to talk about McCormick.
Oh, McCormick was a goof last night. Like Starzovsky, he's trying to take Starzovsky's job. You know what I mean? Like, absolute shit. Shit. I looked down at Sebastian. Sebastian looked like he wanted to jump over the ice and grab him. Absolute shit reffing. So I waited after the game because typically, we didn't have our kids, so we didn't actually go down there to meet the players because it's kind of weird. But we went down there to wait for the refs to come out because I was going to tell them how it was probably the shittiest refereeing or officiating I've seen this year. And it absolutely was. We were taking bum calls that didn't make any sense. Although, I don't know, it was just horrible. It was an absolute mess of a show for the fucking refs. And I don't know who are these guys? I've never even seen them before. Not
The
this
only
year
one that
anyway.
looked familiar to me was Hicks.
Yeah, Hicks. I know Hicks. He doesn't know how to drop the fucking puck in the dot. He doesn't, man.
Yeah, there was a bunch of that last night too.
We've had McCormick a few times.
Have we?
O'Prey, I don't remember seeing.
Now, I remember O'Prey from last year. But McCormick, I don't remember at all. But
So
Hicks bends down to drop the puck, and he's like, hold on,
like
guys.
he's taking a poop.
Oh, hold on, guys. I got gas. Just give me a second. And then when they try to do the face-off, he switches. No, he's an idiot. God. Reffing is such shit in the queue, man. I'm sorry. It really is. Like, that tripping call, that got me, man. Everybody seen that was not tripping.
I got something to say about that.
Oh,
So I was talking with somebody who was higher up, or who is high up.
But he's
with
an
the
idiot,
reffing.
too. He's an idiot, too.
No. And I at least say what I say before you trash talk them.
For sure.
So on the way back to my car, when I was dropping things off there, I was chatting with them, and what the hell happened? I was like, I'm not trying to be argumentative, but what was this call? And himself, the guy who's an absolute idiot, didn't like that call. He did not agree with that tripping call.
Maybe he's not so stupid then.
That's what I said. Wait for people to say what happened.
So what happens in that case? So here's the thing: our players fight, they get held accountable.
I asked.
Let me finish my thought. All right. Well, let me finish my thought for everybody else. Our players have to be accountable. Okay. At your job, you have to be accountable. With the military, you have to be accountable. Everybody has to be accountable at their jobs. Why do these refs get away with this? And is there any accountability for this bullshit?
So I asked what happens, and I'll just say it. It was Tom Ander that I was talking to. He's in charge of the officiating here. So I was talking to him, after every game, he does up a report, and I'm comfortable talking about this because he said it openly. So he does up a report. He lists all of the penalties with the times of the penalties and everything, and then sends it to the head officiating for the entire queue.
Yep.
Which, in that aspect, that every game is reviewed. Like, the head official will go back and look at all of the penalties or look at the times that he is marked down for them to check out, and they will use all of those notes to rank the officials. By ranking the officials, that's how they determine who gets playoffs when it comes to playoffs, who goes far when it comes to the playoffs, when it comes to like the prospects game or the World Juniors and stuff. That's how they determine on who they would recommend from that league to go there. So everything does get looked at by the head official.
That's not enough.
No. Langio was there for a while last year, all the way to the finals. I did not like his officiating at all.
That's not enough. He needs suspensions.
Langio was one of the better refs last year.
Was he really?
He actually was
1,000%
better than fucking Starzovsky, that's for sure.
It's bad when you ask for Langell.
Right.
Like, you go into a game and you're like, hold up, give me Langell. We know we don't like him here, and a lot of us know that. But it's bad when you get some of these refs in here that are like, he makes Langell look good.
So at one point, so here's the thing. I'm going to finish this thought first. There needs to be more. There needs to be suspensions, or there needs to be something for for these officials to, like, be policed in the way they do their job. Not ranking them well isn't going to do anything for the players. That being said, there was one time last night where McCormick, when he did that double penalty, and I know you agree with this, Dylan. I didn't get a chance to rewatch it, and I will rewatch it, and we'll talk about it in private. There was 2 penalties called at the same time. I think there should have only been 1. Sebastian looks up at Cormick and goes, "What the hell, man?" Just like that, and McCormick goes and winks at Sebastian. Like, I've never wanted to hit an official so much in my life as I did last night, man. Like, that snide little wink and smile, like, whatever. It's not my team.
So both calls were by each separate ref.
Yes, one was by
one was by O'Prey and one was by McCormick.
Yeah. Now,
so it's not like the same ref called both penalties. One called each one.
And the only one the play didn't happen at the exact same time, and we had possession. So why was the whistle not blown until the one I seen? Is my question. We had possession, and we didn't get the whistle until Larmont. No, Larmont, his penalty was legit.
So
I don't agree with
that's
the
where I
McPhee
disagree.
one.
That's where I disagree with you. Larmont was the first penalty. Larmont happened.
That's not the way
down.
I've seen it, and I'm going to rewatch it. And like I said, we'll talk about it in private. But from my position where I'm sitting at, from what I seen, it was Larmont was the second penalty, and this manufactured penalty against McPhee is the one I don't know about.
Even McPhee was thrown off by that, because you look at him and he's just going,
"What did I do?
What? What?"
But McPhee got another one for hooking earlier on that night too, and that was that was contact at best. It was not hooking. Right.
No, so the boarding was McPhee's first penalty.
And then he got a hooking. Did he not? Wasn't there a hooking from him? He took a penalty last night that it was just
I think
him alone.
Vinny took a hooking.
So we had Larmont took a penalty, McPhee took a penalty, Morvek took a penalty. Morvek took 2 penalties because he got the game misconduct.
Was Morvik the hooking?
No, it was roughing.
Where's the hooking?
Ponzetto got for hitting from behind. Fontaine got hooking, and Ponzetto got roughing. And then Fournier with the tripping.
Maybe it was Fontaine. But one was a hook that barely touched him. Like, it shouldn't have been called. Anyways, like I said, it was shit. Now, so what is that? That's, 10 minutes in penalties?
More than that, because Morvek had 12 minutes himself.
Okay.
So we had somebody serve a 10 last night too, didn't they?
Yeah, it was Morvek.
Yeah, not including that though. There was 5 or 6 penalties given out other than the 10-minute, right?
Let me double check that. I gotta pull it back up. So penalties. We've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
7. Now, how many did were again?
1, 2, 3,
Three?
4, 5, 6, 7.
I didn't think they were in the box that much.
Yep. And I got like I'm looking at the actual.
I believe you. It just didn't. It didn't feel that way to me. Again, it's my team, so of course I'm going to be a little one-sided. But it didn't feel like there was that many penalties called against St. John's. Oh well.
Yeah. Oh well. But that's one thing I don't like about fishing, and that's the same in every league. They tend to go even. They do these stupid even up calls, which is dumb as shit.
Where they fuck up on one and they decide, well, I'll just make it better by giving them a shit penalty later on.
Yeah.
Some were offsetting penalties, says Jose. Trevor says they will provide more training and feedback to those refs. At least Langell is consistently bad for both teams.
Yeah. True.
Yeah.
You can't fix what's broken.
Steve says Osprey or Opre played before, so I think it means maybe played in the queue. I don't know the name, so you'd have to clarify that. But I think that's it for us, guys. We're going on a minute, or now we're in 45 minutes here, so we're gonna wrap it up. Any closing remarks? No.
If you need Moose merch and it isn't official, hit up MF Creations.
That's it.
Sounds like I'm so legal.
All right, guys. Hope you're all healthy, safe, and happy out there. And as always, go Moose, go.
Happy holidays.
Oh, that too.
Happy holidays.
That too. But first of all, go Moose.